boy, oh boy. So there's a story on Action News, Philadelphia, entitled, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts to skip White House celebration. Administration official tells the Associated Press. The article starts, Jalen Hurts is one of several Philadelphia Eagles players who are expected to skip Monday's White House celebration to honor the Super Bowl champs, according to the White House official. Hurts and other players cited scheduling conflicts as their reason for their absences, according to the official, who is not authorized to comment publicly, and spoke on the condition of anonymity to the Associated Press. There of course, is Jalen Hurts, your Super Bowl 59 MVP. Well, number one in your program, number one in your hearts. Love it. Love it. It continues. The ceremony to celebrate with President Trump is scheduled to start sometime after 4 o'clock p.m. You can watch blah, 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 blah. Asked by a reporter on the red carpet of the Time Magazine gala last week whether he would visit, Hurts responded with an awkward and a long silence before walking away. Eagles star running back Saquon Barkley visited Trump over the weekend at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, and caught a ride with the president to Washington on Air Force One. What? Yo, Saquon is out here making moves. Saquon's out here making moves. Speaking of Saquon Barkley, there he is, of course, with President Trump at the White House. This got the attention of niggas around the world. This got, you know what? Actually, hold up. This got the attention of niggas in America. Niggas in America don't like the fact that Saquon has visited Donald Trump because, of course, he's a black man. And oh, by the way, guys, let me just make this clear. Do I care that Jalen Hurts decided to skip the White House visit? No, I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't care that Jalen Hurts appears to be woke. Don't care. I do not care that Jalen Hurts is woke. I don't give a shit what his politics are. I could not care less. As long as that kid shows up every Sunday and does what he's done for the Eagles for the last 3-4 seasons, do what you do. Do what you do. Dude, if I found out that Jalen Hurts was gay, hey, whatever. Show up on Sundays. Don't give a damn. Anyway, Saquon, predictably, caught the ire of many black people, including Keith Boykin on Instagram. Let's take a listen to his rant on Saquon Barkley going to visit the president.
The White House today, but star quarterback Jalen Hurts did not attend. While Eagles running back Saquon Barkley embarrassed himself by sucking up to...
Uh-oh. He already fucked up. So you mean to tell me this guy is Mr. Pro-Black, pro-blackity black, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 but you can't even pronounce the name of the man you're after? Yeah, my friend, his name is not Saquon. His name is Saquon. So already we see that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about in terms of sports. Let's continue.
Trump on the golf course this weekend. Jalen Hurts was absolutely right to stand on business. Maybe some of the black celebrities, rappers, and athletes are not following the news, but I do. It's my job. And Donald...
No, you don't. If you followed the news, you would know that his name is Saquon and not Saquon.
Trump is not only the worst president in American history, but also the most openly racist president since Woodrow Wilson 100 years ago. Just today, the Justice Department indicated that it will no longer enforce the Voting Rights Act that took centuries for our ancestors to put in place. So don't give me any lip about respecting the office of the presidency when you're hobnobbing with a twice impeached convicted criminal who has disrespected the office and violated his oath to uphold the Constitution every day since January 20th. When a black public figure like Saquon Barkley associates with a man who got
Saquon Barkley
the NFL to remove the end racism sign from the Super Bowl end zone, they not only dishonor the 86% of black people and 92% of black women who voted against Trump, they dishonor a long line of black leaders who fought for their rights to be here. They dishonor Harriet Tubman, who was removed from the National Park Service website, the Tuskegee Airmen, who were removed from Air Force training materials. Jackie Robinson, who was removed from a government website.
Guys, what you're listening to, this is just a bunch of propaganda. This is crazy.
Mae Brown Wiggins, who was denied an apartment in the Trump building because she was black. The exonerated Central Park Five, who are suing Trump for defamation after their childhood was taken from them because of his racist lynch mob. Former President Barack Obama, whose birth certificate Trump spent 5.5 years lying about. Black quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who was driven out of the NFL because of Trump's attacks on his freedom of speech. Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, 2 black election workers in Georgia who had to go into hiding to escape Trump's mobs. Kamala Harris, the woman Trump claimed only turned black last year. Haitian immigrants who Trump accused of eating.
Kamala Harris is not black. She's Indian.
Their neighbors' cats and dogs. Black South Africans, who Trump is punishing right now as he gives special privileges to white South Africans to move to the United States. And black authors like me, whose books are being removed from government libraries. Trump is arresting judges, deporting American citizens, refusing to obey Supreme Court orders, erasing black history, attacking black institutions, and eliminating affirmative action, DEI, and black college scholarships. And after all that, some black public figures still seem to be more interested in worshiping the white man's money and power than defending their own integrity and decency. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, whether it's Saquon.
You got that right. That's the first, dude. That is the first. That's the first thing he has said that has made any sense. Not all skin folk are kinfolk, especially not with this nigga. Nigga, you can't even say Saquon Barkley's name correct. Unbelievable. Let's move to Jemele Hill's. Let's move to Jemele Hill's response to this. And listen, man. For those of you who are unfamiliar with who Jemele Hill is. Jemele Hill is dude. She is a miserable black woman. She is a miserable black woman who does nothing but race bait all day and all night. She talked her way out of. She lost a bag at ESPN because while she was with ESPN, she encouraged football fans. She encouraged football fans to boycott the sponsors from NFL teams. The NFL had a contract with ESPN. The NFL has a contract with ESPN. And so she was up out of there. And since then, she'll get in front of the microphone to anyone who will listen and talk about how quote unquote oppressed black Americans are. Here's her response to what happened with Saquon Barkley.
Is there a new presidential bromance brewing? It sure seemed that way today when the Philadelphia Eagles visited the White House to celebrate their big Super Bowl win.
Your superstar running back who I met yesterday, and I want to tell you he's a handsome guy, but I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Pause.
Saquon Barkley, where's Saquon?
Oh, ain't that funny? So President Trump can say Saquon Barkley's name correctly, but Mr. Pro Blackity Black called him Saquon. And oh, by the way, just as a side note here, guys, a lot of you guys who are not sports fans probably recognize him. That's fine. That's Saquon. This guy right here, this guy's the MVP of the Philadelphia Eagles. That is Eagles general manager Howie Roseman, who is the greatest general manager of all time. Let's continue.
But I offered him a ride on Air Force One because I was coming down. And usually they say, no, I don't think so. He said, I'll take it, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he loved
Hell
it.
Yeah.
We loved being together. He's a great young guy.
Eagles star running back Saquon Barkley took a lot of heat for his golf weekend and VIP ride on Air Force One with President Trump, but he brushed it off on social media.
Dude, Don DeMarco to Saquon. I am not mad at Saquon. Yo, I'm gonna tell you what. I did not know that Saquon rode on Air Force One. Holy moly.
Maybe
Saquon out here making moves.
Not a hard concept to understand. Just golf with Obama not too long ago and look forward to finishing my round with Trump. Join me now, contributing writer to The Atlantic and host of the podcast, Jemele Hill is Unbothered. Jemele Hill also here is former...
No, Jemele Hill is definitely bothered. Definitely bothered.
Former NFL wide receiver Dante Stallworth. Glad to have both of you guys here today with me. Let me ask you about this, Dante, because...
Dante Stallworth actually played for the Eagles for a short time.
Saquon is defending his outing with the president. Trump seems, frankly, more than flattered by all this. What do you make of it? That deep side. Okay, that's his response. Go ahead.
I love Saquon. I think he's a great player, and you can't deny his talent. One of the things that bothered me the most was that he was one of the players that, back in 2020, when the NFL players were really going after the NFL for not standing up against the NFL and the president at the time, President Trump. He was one of the guys at the forefront saying racism and injustice cannot exist. And then he goes today, 5 years later, and he's golfing with Donald Trump. And one of the things that he said was that, it's not about politics, or leave politics out of it.
And by the way, guys, I know a lot of you guys know who Dante Stallworth is. Listen, man, yes, he he hit someone and killed someone when he was in Miami. When he was in Miami, I think he had like an involuntary manslaughter charge. I don't care about that.
One of the things I'm reminded of,
and yes, Mac, Saquon definitely has a white girl. We're going to get into that in a minute too.
Quote that's attributed to the Greek philosopher or the Greek politician Pericles, where he says, it's attributed to him, it's a similar words, paraphrase, and he says, you may not be interested in politics, but that doesn't mean politics won't be interested in you. And so as you see, they've used his tweet.
Ah, there we go. See? There we go. There we go. There we go. See that? This is what niggas like to do when you try to stay out of these political conversations. Well, if you're not with us, then you're against us. The so-called black community chastises people who want to sit in the middle. They're like, hey, you know what? I just want to exist. I don't want to be confrontational. See, I'm confrontational. I speak out against niggas all the time. I don't care. But there are just some people. There are just some people who just don't want anything to do with these conversations. But the so-called black community still likes to rope these guys in. Well, here is Dante Stallworth doing the same thing to Saquon. He's saying to Saquon, well, listen, man, if you're a professional athlete, you might not want to be involved in politics, but politics might choose you. Yeah, sorry. Michael Jordan was never in politics. He was never a political guy. He's really not a political guy now. I think he's come out and said a few things here and there, but Michael Jordan has always been right on the fence, and I don't care. I don't care.
The White House, they posted his tweet. They've posted photos with him. He's essentially being used kind of as a propaganda tool to say, hey, look, Saquon Barkley likes us. Everyone.
A propaganda tool? Are you kidding me? Dante, serious? A propaganda tool for what? What is he trying to propagandize? And of course, you guys can see that Dante Stallworth has the uniform on of the pro-blackity black. All pro-blackity blacks, niggas like this, they all love to wear bow ties and horn-rimmed glasses. They all look the same.
Everyone else should like us because he is, number one, a black player in the NFL, and number two, he's a prominent African-American. At the same time, it's evident where he says that he just respects the office of the president. It's evident that Donald Trump doesn't respect the office of the president. He only respects the power that it wields.
So, Jemele, is there an unfair pressure and double standard being put on black players in the NFL to appear or not appear at events like this for the reasons he's talking about?
Oh, definitely. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that this administration has communicated so often about how they feel about black people in this country. You know, at the same time, while he is with the president, you have this administration taking away precious artifacts from the National African American Museum here in Washington, D.C.
Here we go.
Other things that show that they are more than willing to understand.
I swear to God. Just like the other nigga on Instagram, Jemele Hill is sitting here making shit up. You know what niggas like to do? Niggas love to just make shit up. They love to just make shit up to prove that somebody is racist or prove their point. Like niggas were out here talking about, well, Austin Metcalf had a gun. That's why Carmelo Anthony stabbed him.
Undermine black liberation in this country. And so if you're a black player, that automatically is going to put you at the crosshairs of politics.
Black liberation in this country, liberate us from what, Jemele? What do black people, what do blacks in this country need to be liberated from?
And so while I do think generally my position is with these White House invites, whether it be a Republican or a Democrat in office, we've seen players that didn't go when Obama was in office.
Jalen Hurts didn't go today?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts didn't go today either. But the thing is that I've always felt like it's up to the player to decide that. But once you make that decision, realize that people like you and I can be here on television to question whether or not, or where it is you truly stand by standing and aligning yourself with somebody who frankly has really done a lot and has a very long history of completely disrespecting people who look like you. Because if you didn't play sports, if you were not a Super Bowl champion, if you were not Saquon Barkley, his reception of you would be a lot different.
So what does it say about the White
House? Yeah, but guess what? It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. Yes, the reason why he's on Air Force One is because he is a Super Bowl champion. And
players that attend then. Is the opposite also true then, that those who attend, who are not black, they are making a statement?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, now here we are. Very good question by the interviewer, whatever her name is. So you mean to tell me if you're a non-black player, so let me get this straight. If you're a non-black player and you went to the White House to visit President Trump to celebrate the Super Bowl, now all of a sudden you're a racist too? Do you see how niggas do this? Do you see how niggas do this? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Politics weren't really talking.
No, there's not a musical backtrack, Rogue Nation. Relax.
About in the NFL locker rooms, at least any of the NFL locker rooms that I was in up until 2008 when Obama was running against McCain. And that's kind of when things started to explode and people regularly began talking politics. There's a ton of players.
Laura Coates. That was my bad. I was like, whoever the interviewer is.
A grenade.
Yeah, my bad. Her name is literally right there.
In the NFL who are outright Trump supporters. And as me and Jemele were talking about, out earlier, Trump has become more palatable for a number of reasons. And so that has allowed these players to kind of step out of the shadows or kind of step out and say, you know what, I'm okay with this. But there were a lot of players that also didn't show up, a lot of the star players that didn't show up, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and a lot of other players.
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith also didn't show up. And let's just keep it real. You want to know why Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith didn't show up to the White House? It's because they're afraid of their wives. They're afraid of their wives. You see, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith are all married to black women. They're all married to black women, all of them. It's no accident that they're not there. They're afraid of their wives. Do I care? I could not give less of a shit. I do not care. As long as AJ and Devontae keep catching touchdowns from Jalen, couldn't care less.
On defense as well. So there's still players that are going to make that stand, but the players that were there, they know what the conversation is going to be when you go to the White House.
And if I just may add this quickly, is Saquon Barkley was able to do that, and he was able to put out, hey, I did it because I respect the office. At the same time, while we saw several players, or at least the Eagles, they sort of massaged it as it was scheduling conflicts. I think those players that didn't come should have the same right to say why they didn't come and explain. I mean, they don't owe us an explanation, but if Jalen Hurts has political and social reasons why he didn't attend, I think it's fair that he be able to speak to whatever that is and what his—
Yeah, Jemele, but guess what? Guess what, Jemele? Guess what, Jemele? If Jalen Hurts comes out as a conservative, then you would bash him too. See, it's all fun. See, Jemele Hill and Dante Stallworth, they're okay. They're okay with players expressing their religious beliefs and their political beliefs as long as it aligns with the left.
His concerns are about this administration.
Or, as some would say, not have to address anything at all. He played the game. He won the trophy. Next. But we'll see. Speaking of somebody who's aspiring to do that, I'm talking about University of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who, as we know, did not go as early as he certainly wanted to. There's been a lot of statements that were made about why he was so low in the draft.